Hey, Rain Nation, welcome to the Leadership Academy of Seinfeld, equivalent of Seinfeld. Because they used to say the Seinfeld show was a show about nothing, about a show about nothing. This is a leadership academy about leadership academies. This is a new concept of a leadership academy about doing new concepts of leadership academies. So don't adjust your dial. Don't worry about your perceptions. You're seeing and experiencing something new. I'm here with my lovely colleague and my work wife, Miss Ann Feinstein, and we want to share something with you that's the result of some deep discussions with Team 300 over the course of the last 3, 4 weeks. Once a month, I do a bronze and above strategy session. And one of the things we discussed in the last one was, hey, what should we be doing with leadership academies? In a place like the United States, where it's very new, it's not a mature market at all. It sounds crazy, right? Because Rain has been around for so long, but this is the truth. It's like we just started last week because nothing was really has been going on in terms of business building with professional networkers like the kind of culture that we bring to the team with we bring to the company with our team. And the teams we've got strong, taken off, Italy, Turkey, Bulgaria, they're not in the US. So, this is a very uh, not even adolescent, it's a toddler stage of development. And so we were discussing, like, hey, what would really serve our purposes the best at this time? Knowing that for the most part, it's training for associates. And then as the added little perk, we always say, hey, you can always use the Leadership Academy as a second look for a candidate who's already seen a presentation, right? They might have watched the Check It Out video. They might have watched the Be the Breakthrough presentation, maybe both. And they still I'm not sure, I'd like to know a little more. And then we say, hey, you can sit in on the Leadership Academy. Just know it's not a presentation, it's a training. And we're training our next leaders. We want people to learn how to talk about leverage, how to do product training, how to make presentations, and just be practicing, presenting online and off. Because as the teams get bigger in areas, the leadership academies usually become in person again, or they become a hybrid event where they're being conducted in person and then streamed out to other, further areas where they haven't developed yet. But either way, whether it's in person or online, we got to train our people to be great presenters. And and the other thing we, of course, teaching them, training them along the way is how to become stronger, more effective, more empowering leaders. So we've had this concept that we've been doing, which is, we have a master of ceremonies, and then we have the product training, 5 minutes, and then we might have the leverage training from the breakthrough presentation. We spice in some testimonials, and then we do a leadership training. Well, we're just looking at that, and that was something I set up a while back when I worked with another company at a different time, at a different stage of growth. And so one of the things I put out to the leaders was, hey, is that really serving us right now? Or in the markets that we're at, even if we look at Bulgaria and Italy and Turkey, where we've got a nice crop of leaders coming up and we have activity coming up, it still might not be the point where we really need that full-fledged 3 or 4 different segment presentations. And of course, people think, okay, I'm watching a Zoom meeting, so that means I'm doing my business. Well, that sometimes that's true, and sometimes that's not true. Because sometimes we're just doing a lot of Zoom meetings and we're not doing any of the rainmaker activity to grow the business. So what we came up with was an idea of, hey, how can we jazz up the leadership academies, maybe shorten them, get them focused on specific topics, and use them to grow the business faster. And then I asked all of the people on the team, bronze and above, who were participating in the meeting to send in their suggestions. And I have to tell you, this is like we bandied around some different ideas, but I got to tell you, this is as close to a unanimous vote as you're ever going to see anywhere. Um, Even if you just said, does everybody think apple pie is good? I don't think you'd get as unanimous an outcome as this got, because this one idea of change up we heard universally. So, Anne, you want to kind of do the crack the champagne bottle and do the unveiling with like what we've come up with to do?
Yes, absolutely. I think that what's exciting here is that we're taking each week, you look at, a monthly schedule, and there's either 4 or 5 weeks. And we've been doing these events on Thursday nights. So that's everybody's gotten into that culture, which is great because it's an opportunity to bring somebody in, let them see what we're doing, and then have a couple of days to talk with them and get them into the business before we close the week. Well, what are some of the things that people want to know? Okay. Well, first and foremost, they want to know more about our products. And so we came up with, like, let's take one Thursday night a month, sorry, and just focus on product. So we might have, a closer look at all of the products and have a presentation done talking about each and every one of them and giving them a full explanation. Second might be just coming up with a category. Now, if you were on the Thunderstorm Saturday that we just did this past week, you would see that we did a category, okay, of what are some of the best products for better performance in athletic activities. And so we had a very focused conversation about that on the specific product. So maybe it's a category like that. Or maybe it's a bundle. Okay, I love bundles. And one of my favorite bundles happens to be the Beat, the Pure, and the Bright. I mean, I'm telling you guys, that has exploded my health, my vitality, my brain power. I mean, I really could get excited about that. So maybe it's on one of those topics, okay, that you focus in for that particular week. So you have a product training.
Yeah, and this, by the way, it could be 15 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, right? There's no rules here. But
And it
it's
could
just
be,
product as opposed to before where we said, hey, just 5 minutes on the product, and then we're going to squeeze in all this other stuff. This will be just, hey, this week is product week, and it'll be expanded on whichever of these kind of themes you're talking about.
and you can choose, to have someone who is a product professional. Could be somebody like Laura Weeks. You could have somebody like Dr. Kent. You could have somebody like me. You could have somebody like you who gets excited about a particular topic with to still use the slides that we have in the back and be able to do something exciting and give people a real clear understanding of what we have here. Okay, it could even be a renew and another product together to give that energy and to be able to do the cleansing and the detoxing, whatever it is, guys, you can create something fun with that and utilize the tools that we have. Okay, a second topic, okay, for another week would be business training. Now, you could have a discussion about leverage, okay, and pull out the slides that we've used in the past and go through it and know that, you have more than 7 or 8 minutes to go through it and talk about, the impact that today's trends have. Talk about the impact of what it means to have, this exchange of time. God, I'll tell you, Randy, it's unbelievable. I guess being out in the world this past month, it's made me realize the real world out there has no clue beyond exchanging time for money. And when you really give people a sense of what leverage is, the power of leverage, how that can change their lives, then you've done something remarkable for them and their family. So it could be an evening on leverage. It could be how to maximize the customer program. Okay, there are parts of that customer program that are just blowing my mind. Okay, the $10 off, getting them rain rewards, you get rain rewards. I mean, there's so many aspects of it that is so rich and lucrative that you could spend the time and just talk about the customer program as one of the business topics. Or,
Yeah, we need to do that here in the US because I know we have a lot of people that really don't know how the Rain Rewards program works.
oh, and I'm telling you, put people on a subscription, and then they start earning those dollars, and they're able to then exchange that for free product, and they got $10 off on the first order. I mean, there's just so many beautiful aspects to it. So you could have a conversation about that. You could also talk about, we call the five revenue producing activities. How to meet people, how to work a list, how to make a presentation, how to follow up. Okay, all those aspects that are easy conversations to let new people, especially, really understand what it is that we do, and then what is their daily method of operation with those five revenue producing activities. And then one of the fun ones that I like, and that is with the 3-3-3 strategy that we've talked about in the past on how to compliment people, on social media, have real complimentary conversations with people, real conversations, not this crazy stuff that goes on with just liking and, an emoji, but have real conversations, real compliments, real exchanges with people. And you do that 3 times, okay, in a particular day, and 3 days in a row. By the fourth day, you're best friends. I'm telling you, you are best friends. And at that point, you can then feel free to be able to reach out and talk to them about this incredible project that you're working on. And you'd feel crazy about not having introduced them to it. Okay, it would be doing yourself a disservice. So those are some of the business training topics. And again, it's up to you and what you feel is important in your market, but these are just some ideas that we're going to be exploring. Randy, talk about the leadership training.
Yeah, here we're really just looking at anything that will help somebody strengthen leadership skills. And it may be giving them new knowledge in a new area. Like probably one of the ones I'll do in a week when I do leadership training, I'm thinking is AI is like just consuming the world right now. I'm actually at a business conference right here, sharpening my own skills. I've been with a mastermind group for the last 2 days, and we probably spent 80% of those 2 days talking about AI and how it impacts every area of our business and our life. So that might be one. Just like, hey, here's some AI tools that really are simple, duplicable, that would just save you time on busy work stuff, which would allow you more time to do rainmaker stuff. Uh, could do a real deep dive on compensation plan and how it works. You could do just a deeper dive on presenting and how to craft compelling stories in a online presentation or an on-stage presentation. And the thing could be anything about, hey, here's how to run your business more effectively. Here's how to empower your team more effectively. And this would be really important, and listen carefully now, in how you promote these when you're talking to candidates. Because let's say third Thursday of March, we've asked Julio to do the business training and or the leadership part, and he does something a real deep dive in how leverage is created in the compensation plan. 8 out of 10 candidates probably wouldn't want to see that presentation. It would just be too much too soon. Like they haven't made up their mind they want to do the business. They don't want to, but there would be 2 out of 10 candidates who that's exactly what would get them over the line to say, "Oh my God, that's perfect. That's what I've been looking for. How do I create passive residual income?" So when we're talking about the product stuff, really easy to explain to a candidate. Hey, sit in. You're going to learn more about the products. When we're talking about the business stuff, hey, if you want to see how our business is done, the kind of business training, all right, maybe there'll be some that wouldn't want to, and that's okay. No candidate, don't make anyone feel like they're required to watch this to make a decision. What our job is to say, here's some form to use the tools, right? To be duplicable, to use the external source tools, the Magalog, the videos, the online presentations, the in-person presentation, three-way calls with your sponsor is an external source tool, um, in a way that benefits the candidate, that helps them get the knowledge they need to make the right decision for them. So with the leadership stuff, it's going to be really important that how you present it to them. Like, just look at what that topic is. Because the idea is we're going to plan the topics for the month. So it's a 4-week month or it's a 5-week month. And we're going to say, okay, week 1 is this, week 2 is this, week 3, week 4, week 5. Everybody knows it'll be in the team Facebook group. You'll get it out to your people. And so you'll know, and if you say, I'm not really sure if I should invite my candidate to see this. You know how to handle that? Ask the candidate. Hey, Nancy, I know you're looking at it. You kind of trying to look at some more information to make your mind up. Here's a question for you. We have a special Leadership Academy training coming up on such and such night, and it's going to be Robert explaining how the RAIN compensation plan works. Does that be something you'd interested in seeing or not, right? And they'll let you know. And if they do, great. If not, then you find them some other type of thing. Sometimes people will be just like, the training might be how to delegate better, how to empower your team, develop committees, help people become self-directed. For some candidates, that would be as boring as watching paint dry. But other candidates would say, "Oh my God, that's exactly the skill set I need in my job anyway. That's a problem I have at work on how to delegate and how to make sure I don't have to do everything and how to create productive committees and how to use my time better." So if you present what it is in the right context, these can be really powerful tools for recruiting. But remember, that's the secondary benefit. The primary benefit is we're developing the next generation of leaders on the team. And that's why they're called leadership academies. And then the other template or theme night or whatever we might want to call it, we people love the idea of all testimonials. So in other words, it might be 10 people doing a 3-minute testimonial about the products and what it means for them. Be the same rules as always. We don't want anyone talking about diseases. We don't want anyone prescribing and diagnosing. It's not about that. It's just sharing their excitement. If the theme might just be everybody's going to talk about what is their favorite product and why. And they each have 3 minutes. Or there's, 15 people who each have 2 minutes. Or there's whatever. There's no rules here, right? We're going to test these things out and see how they work. And then 5th week, other possibility, we talked about an interview thing. You want to talk about that, Ann?
And I want to just hit on one thing though about the testimonials, Randy, because what I have found to be very helpful, especially for a new person doing it for the first time, and that's writing it out. And I don't know that there'd be any difference between a business testimonial or a product testimonial that you wouldn't want to have the same three-part formula, who you are, what you do. Everybody wants to know that. What's your favorite product? Okay, you can talk about that, or what you did, what you do. Okay, is step one. Number two, what's the challenge? What have you faced? What challenge have you faced? Okay, that has made you aware that you need to do something a little different. And the third is how that product or that business has made the difference. Okay, that's it. Step one, step two, step three. It's simple and easy. But I'm got to tell you, if you get them to write it out and they put it to paper and then they take the paper and they throw the paper away, guess what? They're going to be much more focused and less to go off into wild, the wild, wild west on what happened, when they crossed over the Atlantic and did something else. And all of a sudden it's 7 minutes later and everybody is like in Gaga land. I don't even know where they went. So it's really important that we want to stay with some format. And it's important that you go over that with them. If you're running that particular event that week, that's your job, okay, is to go over those testimonials with people to make them feel comfortable. And then to get on 20 minutes early with everyone. So everybody understands how this, wonderful world of technology works and how to work their microphones and how to turn on the camera and how to be, presenting in front of the camera, what kind of background do you have going on, make sure people aren't running through the camera while you're talking. It's just all those wonderful things. It's all part of the training to give people a better and a more comfortable sense. And I find getting on the 20 minutes early, Randy, and you start chit-chatting with people and having fun and smiling and laughing, everybody
Mhm.
calms, okay, and then they're ready. Because when they see that five, that countdown start, it
Mhm.
builds up pulses in the body. It does. It's a natural
Mhm.
thing. And then they go live, and you think they're on CNN or NBC, and it can be overwhelming, but we don't want that to happen. We want it to be friendly and happy, okay? And share your story, okay? We can't wait to hear it because you know what? It's going to impact somebody out there. That's social proof. And that's so exciting to people to hear a story that they go, hey, that's me. Hey, that's my parents. Hey, that's my sister. Hey, that's my friend. Hey, that's my cousin. Oh, yeah, I could do that. And all of a sudden they're making the connection. So that's what I wanted to say about the testimonial. On the interview side, okay, which is really fun because I've done that. I've been on both sides. I've been the interviewer and I've been the interviewee. And on either side, you want to plan that out. That's not just wing it. That's, you sit down, you think through what are some of the pressing things that I would want to know about Randy Gage that would help people understand more about the business, that would help them to get into his head as to what made him so successful, or, talking to somebody, perhaps your general manager, inviting your general manager to come on and to talk to your team about what's happening in Rain Nation, okay, from that point of view, or having one of the international leaders come on, okay, and be part of an interview process. And I'm opening myself up to that. I'm agreeing to do that, okay, because I think it's fun and people hear a different perspective and they have a chance to, to see what it's like getting into the head of somebody, where they were, how they built the business, what were the highs, the lows, what were the things, the biggest challenges. And I'm telling you, I learned a lot about myself when I was asked those questions. It made me really pause and think about it. So, what are the modules you could do? Leadership, like we're doing tonight. This will be the first module for our August calendar because we're starting this in August. Then you go to, maybe you have the second one's the product, the third is a business training. You can have your testimonial. And if it's a fifth week in a month, then do an interview. Okay, or alternate between having one week or 1 month you have an interview, and next month you have testimonials. You can do that. Okay, you can have that flexibility in your schedule. So let's talk a little bit about what you should do to make this happen. Okay, and we have a couple of exercises.
Yeah, and here's what you should know. Well, actually, let me give you the first thing is sameness kills, variety thrills. Meaning, one of the reasons we wanted to freshen this up is because there's this finite, pretty small, finite rotating theme of topics, right? And then things like leverage, which are the same every week. So we don't want people coming on once a week because, well, Randy said that's the obligation. If you're a serious person, you're on the Leadership Academy every week. We want people there because they say, I love watching the Leadership Academies. I always learn something new about the Leadership Academies. So the first assignment, we're not really doing assignments, by the way. The thing I got up here on screen in, that's really better for our diamond and above training call that we do later. But for you guys watching this actual Leadership Academy right now, start with that, like fresh, fun, different all the time. So we've got the slide deck for like the product training. Well, great. There's 11 products, so there's 11 different possibilities. But I don't know, there's like favorite ones that get done a lot. So you see Soul very frequently or Soul Red very frequently. So like if I'm going to do a product training, the next one I'm going to do the best products for entrepreneurs. And I'm going to focus on the products that I think are the most important because if you're an entrepreneur, there's certain like the bright, right? You have creative energy time where you want it the bright mixed with the pure, and that's your cocktail for your creative work, right? And other products about for the energy and other products to make sure you're getting enough sleep because there's all this grinder hustle stuff that you hear in all the podcasts. That's not real. If you're in a group like I've been in all day, where you need a tax return to show that you make more than $1 million a month, I mean a year, more than $1 million a year, just to be in the room. And that's who I've been with for 2 days, right? And some of those people is not $1 million in a year, it's $30 million in a year. And we'll all tell you the same thing. No, you don't cheat Father Death. You don't cheat the clock. You can't train yourself to get by on 5 hours sleep or 4.5 hours sleep and grind and hustle. No, you want to be a really productive entrepreneur? You should wake up every day when you finish sleeping, where your body had the time to rest, recharge, renew, right? You took your renew tablets before you went to bed. You got your cord you take in the morning. You're keeping your blood clean, your sleep, right? So this would be a cool, different product training that we haven't done for a while. Another one would be, hey, let's get your favorite recipes. And we're going to have 6 different people share recipe night. Like I do a whole thing with my blender where I take my form and I take some fresh fruit and put in some other stuff and some of the gel, right? I have recipes for that. All of you guys do. That would be a fun thing. Like I say, the leadership thing, um the business thing, we can really have fun with this and do it in a way that's fresh and exciting. So the main thing I think going forward for you guys watching this is let's make sure everybody on your team watches this episode because they're not going to know that it changed all of a sudden. They'll say, because there's going to be people that like, wow, how come Ann and Randy are the only ones on the slide this week, right? Yesterday when it came out, they probably were wondering that because there's usually 4 people, right? Now, a lot of time there might be only one person. So why is there only, well, when there's only one person, and they're doing the comp plan breakdown, well, we've got to let our people know that's what's coming up. And they need to have seen this training. And then we need to, again, train them on how to talk to the candidates. So they, because it might be, and this will happen a lot. This is fine when this happens, is that you say, okay, I've got, Hyro is in the, he's working his way through the information. He hasn't made a decision yet, but he's really not interested in the Leadership Academy topic this week. So I'm going to show him something else from the YouTube channel. And then next week, he's really excited to see the one where so and so talks about ABC, right? So it's all just about training the people and rewiring your brain. We don't want anyone saying, and I mean, we really do. I don't change my belief on this. My belief is if you are serious about building a business with Rain and you're not just talking about it and you're not just trying to lie to your sponsor about being serious or lie to yourself about being serious, or lying to yourself and your sponsor about being serious. If you really are serious, you know, hey, every week I'm on a leadership academy. Every week I'm on a Be the Breakthrough. And I get it, right? There's going to be a Thursday night like this last leadership academy. I was on an airplane, so without the Wi-Fi, I couldn't do the streaming, so I didn't get to see it until the replay. Right? We know that's going to happen, but that's okay. But we're saying that that's your mindset. But so that's mindset first. Second part of that mindset is, but we don't want you on because you think that's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I have to do. You and me, all of us, we need to create leadership academies that are fun, informative, and inspirational, that people look forward to something fresh every week. So, like, we've got people who are incredible with products, right? And they do the best product training. I'm going to challenge you. Create some new topics of product training. We got people who are known, they do the best presentations on leverage of anyone. I'm going to challenge you to the same thing. Create something fresh, something we haven't seen before, right? That people, wow, I didn't know that. Really? That's how that pool of the diamond bonus pool works. I didn't know that, you know. Give us something a little more Hollywood, a little less academia, right? Because we're in a fun business. Let's make sure that training is fun. And we're starting right here, right now with the leadership academies. And we're going to just do what smart leaders do. We're going to test it out in the marketplace, see how it helps with the leadership development, see how it helps with growing the business. We'll test it, we'll track it, and we'll modify it as needed.
Well,
All right,
that's
any final thoughts?
yeah, that's why I'm suggesting that first and foremost, okay, make a calendar schedule, okay, for the next 3 months. So your August, your first one is leadership, and that's check. It's done. It's here. Then do the same thing, the 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it is for August, lay it out for September, lay it out for October, so that, people can start to volunteer to be part of what the various ones that they want to take responsibility for. And that goes back to having a strong committee activity. It's like we have here in North America. And people will want to do that, Randy. They'll want to take responsibility for the product evening and for the testimonial and for the business training and the leadership and so forth, guys. Okay, lay it out, let people take responsibility. Second, okay, you want to make sure that you're planning ahead. So have that scheduled out for the whole month of August. Okay, so that you know exactly what's being planned and let your team see it. So they see what's being planned for the month of August and they can start making plans with their people. Okay, that this is what we're doing on the first week, second week, third week, fourth week, etc. And then plan the agenda, okay, for that particular week and go over and review it with one of your upline leaders. Okay, so that you get some comment, you get some feedback, you get some ideas, you get some refreshments, you get some direction, maybe even a further suggestion, okay, as to how you can make it even sexier, more fun, and more inspirational. So those are the three assignments that you
Yeah,
have.
let me be clear. Those assignments are for you people who are on the committee.
Yes,
for the Leadership Academy. All right. For you, rest you, you don't have to work with committees doing that. You just got to
exactly.
show up, look pretty, and have fun and get on the right people who need to be watching that with you.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, you're going to have a lot of fun with each of these, okay? Because they're topics that really will help to propel your business forward. They're activities and coming together to give people information and perceptions and, expectations and inspiration to be able to see what they need to do in order to do the business. And the fact is that there's a lot of other people around that are looking at this. They're excited about the product. They see everybody talking about what their favorites are. They feel the energy of the stories that are being told. They see what's happening with leadership and with the business side of it. And they come away and they say to you, which is what I've heard over and over again, is that this group has something special. This team is making something happen. And this is the kind of culture and environment that I want to be part of. And that's what's going to make it magic for you. So, Randy, any closing remarks here?
We're really excited about what we can do here in this, particularly the US, where we could go. US here and the Spanish speaking market in the US. And that would be my aspirational goal I would like to plant in your mind, guys, here in the US, is we need to be doing a Spanish version of this soon. Not right now. It's too young. We're not mature enough as a team. We don't have enough people, but this is what we should be aspiring to creating. And then there's some other languages, even here in the US, we probably should get one going once a week. But for now, let's just make this English one as fun, informative, and inspiring as possible. And let's go out and make it rain. Peace.